This video is sponsored by Dubby Jitterless Energy Blend. Click on the link in the description and use the code PackerMan to save 10% on any order. What's happening, ladies and germs? This is the PackerMan and welcome to this edition of The Fuel, where in this edition we're going to be talking about the 2023 Wawa 250 at Daytona. Wawa wee wah. What? What do you want, butthead? These cats. Kind of busy doing a review, butthead. But anyways. So, what did I think of this race? Well, it was definitely one of the best races of the year, even though the finish, well, I'm not saying the finish, but having to go to 2 overtimes to get to the finish really sucks. You know, because it really started getting messy right at the end of this race. And I was thinking, okay, how is this race going to, you know, end in some kind of messy fashion like we usually see at these freaking super speedways. But at the very least, they stuck the landing with the finish. So, Austin Hill started from pole. Let's go ahead and take a look at the race stats. Might as well get that out of the way. There were 20 total lead changes, 14 of them pure. There were 4 total caution flags, 3 of which happened basically right in the last 10 laps, which really sucks. There were 3,467 green flag passes, which averages out to 44.4 per lap, which is really good. And Austin Hill led the most laps with 36 total. But yeah, this was actually a very competitive race from the outset, despite the fact that Austin Hill tried to lead a lot of the laps. He did lead stage 1. There were a couple of choo-choo trains at one point, and especially in stage 1. But Austin Hill won stage 1. Riley Herbst had a left front tire go down because apparently one of the screws in the top of the steering box had started to come off. So it basically dragged the left front tire completely off. And he was incredibly frustrated because he's been trying to get that car into the playoffs. And he's got 2 more races to try to do that, and he's just getting fucked by mechanical problems. But we get into stage number 2. We had our first caution on lap 42 when Anthony Alfredo moves up into Brandon Jones in the tri-oval, sending the 25 and the 9 into the wall, and away they go. Big wreck. You know, Brandon Jones has basically been the equivalent of Murphy's Law this season. Whatever can go wrong with that car, it has gone wrong. So it sucks because he is a good driver. I'm not gonna say he's an elite tier driver, but he is a good enough driver to get at least a win or 2. And this year has just been a disaster for him. His first year at Junior Motorsports, although he is coming back to that team next year. But get a couple more lead changes, and Sheldon Creed side drafts by his teammate Austin Hill to win stage number 2. Sam Mayer leads the start of stage 3. Creed gets pushed to the lead by Hill, and then we had 3 wide from there on back. Several more pure lead changes happened. Yeah, choo-choo train forming once again midway through stage 3, but then nearing the end of the race in the last 20 laps, things really started to pick up. It's Sam Mayer taking the lead at one point, Justin Allgaier. The other thing about Justin Allgaier, there were actually 5 cars that had to go to the rear of the field and also had to do a pass-through penalty due to pre-race tech inspection failures. And that was, let's see, where's the list? I'm pretty sure I had a list somewhere. Here we go. Jeb Burton, Justin Allgaier, Ryan Sieg, Parker Retzlaff, and Jordan Anderson all had to go to the rear of the field and do pass-through penalties for pre-race tech inspection failures. So, pretty significant. So, Justin Allgaier was finally able to get up to the lead on lap 85 after having to work all day to get up to that point. Trevor Bayne, in one of his few starts, is leading the race at one point. Then you have the RCR cars charging back towards the front with Sheldon Creed taking the lead. Trevor Bayne takes the lead on lap 90, and then we have our second caution on lap 93 when Jeb Burton loses it on the front stretch after getting loose in turn 4, and then a couple of cars behind him kind of pile into each other. One took a hard hit to the inside wall. So Trevor Bayne leads on the restart with 2 laps to go, and it was the actual 2 laps to go, not overtime. But Trevor Bayne gets hooked into the outside wall by Austin Hill. We have yet another huge wreck, taking out a lot of the front runners. At this point, I'm like, ugh, here we go. Here we go with the fucking shit show at the end of this race. So Allgaier led the first overtime restart, but then we have another wreck, this time in turn 3, which took several cars out, so we had to go to a second overtime. I'm thinking, okay, how is this race going to end in a stupid way? Because at this point, the quality of this race was just taking a downturn. I mean, it was pretty good quality up to this point, but now we have all these cautions and all these wrecks at the end of these races because of the stupid fucking overtimes. And it's just like, it was kind of frustrating because it's like, you know, you watch these super speedway races and then it seems like every single time there's always a late race caution and it just ends in fucking disaster. But at least they stuck the landing with the finish. I would have preferred to see this finish under the long green flag run that we had in stage 3 instead of under an overtime period. Be that as it may, though, there were several cars that, there was one car that spun, I think it was Kaz Grala coming to the white flag, but there was no caution. NASCAR just, you know, since he spun down to the inside and was out of harm's way, they let the race stay green. And then Justin Allgaier, who was leading, got out there a little bit, and it looked like it was going to be yet another instant replay of what's been happening to him at Daytona. You know, he's had shots to win, but always ends up second. But Sheldon Creed gets a great run around the outside, and I'm thinking, uh-oh, this might be Sheldon Creed's time to finally get that first career win. And Creed and Allgaier side draft each other down the front stretch. There's another wreck behind these guys, but NASCAR allows the race to stay green and let it finish. And Justin Allgaier wins the race by 5 1/1000ths of a second in a photo finish with Sheldon Creed. I mean, you gotta feel for Sheldon Creed at this point, because, I mean, the dude's been so close so many times, finishing second on so many occasions. This is his closest one yet, and he's still gonna come up short. I mean, that first win's gotta be coming soon for him. You know, because he's been so close so many times. Eventually, he's going to break through. Dude's got way too much talent to not be winning races at this level, especially considering he's a former truck champion. Yeah, that's why the name of the episode is the name of the episode, 5 1/1000ths. That's the margin of victory for Justin Allgaier to finally get his Daytona win. He's been trying for so long to get a super speedway victory, and especially one at Daytona, and he finally has it. So congratulations to Justin Allgaier, his second win of the year, and cements himself as once again one of the championship favorites heading into the playoffs. For the Xfinity Series, they have 2 more races until their playoff run is set. But yeah, it's a good race. It looked like it was going to be a God tier race, but then the last 7 laps happened, and we had 3 cautions within that time period. And it just kind of downgraded the quality of the race a little bit, but then it came back up with the finish between Allgaier and Sheldon Creed. So, you know, I'll cut up some slack this time around with the rating. So I'm going to give it a good rating this time, because it was a good race overall. You know, I just could have done without all the dumb shit at the end of it. So, my final rating for the 2023 Wawa 250 at Daytona is an 8 out of 10. What's happening, ladies and germs? Thank you for watching tonight's video. If you're interested in sponsoring the channel, there is a link to my Patreon down in the description box below. Otherwise, hit like and subscribe if you want to continue watching great content like you saw today. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, this is the PackerMan signing out.